Good morning, everybody. This is K. Balakrishna. Presently, we are dealing with the topic called as factoring. Who is called as a factor and what are the factoring services? Factoring is a process of converting account receivable into cash. It may be a trade bill. It may be an account receivable like loan, unpaid. It may be a promissory note. It may be a bill of exchange, or it may be any other thing, any account receivable. It can be converted to cash with the help of a person called as factor. Factor is a person who converts the account receivable into cash. What do you mean by factoring? Factoring is a process of purchasing the account receivables. Who purchases the account receivables? It is the factor who purchases the account receivables. From whom he purchases? From the firm, that is client, he purchases the account receivables. What does he do with the account receivables? He guarantees the payment date to the client and he converts them into the cash. Sometimes account receivables are taken and the payment is made before the collection itself. The process of converting account receivables into cash is done by a person called as factor. It's a process of recovering the trade debt. The factor does not only these things, but he performs large number of functions. Factoring is a source of financing of account receivables. If I have an account receivable, I can get an assurance that it can be converted into cash with the help of a person called as factor. Factoring is an agreement between a factor as well as his client, where the factor promises that he will guarantee some amount of payment in the future point of time of the collection or before collection, based upon the type of factoring. What are the functions of factor? Apart from conversion of account receivables into cash, it performs large number of functions. First and the foremost is called as maintenance of sales ledger. So sales ledger can be maintained, the accountancy aspects can be maintained, audit can be performed by him. Next, he collects the account receivables from the client and tries to finance the debts of the company. Next, he also take the credit risk sometimes. In case of a type of factoring called as without records factoring, the factor take the risk. He promises that if the account receivable is not converted into cash, he pays from his purse. Next, provision of advisory services. He also suggests the companies to whom the factoring services can be rendered, and thus promotes the credit sales of the company. Types of factoring fees. The factoring fees can be of two types. One is commission, which is paid by the client purely based upon the value of the debt. Second one is advance paid by paid before the actually the account receivable is converted to cash. Both are the forms of compensation given to the factor. What are the types of factoring? There are many types of factoring. We'll see one by one. Recourse factoring means the factor take the risk. What sort of risk does he take? He takes the risk of conversion of account receivables into cash. He promises that if the account receivable is not converted, he pays the amount. Next, non-recourse means the factor. Non-recourse in the sense the factor does not take the risk, and recourse in the sense that the factor does. Non-recourse means the factor takes the risk of collection, and recourse means the factor does not take the risk of collection of account receivables. It's the advanced factoring. Advanced factoring in the sense sometimes the factor pays an amount of additional amount for purchase before taking the account receivables from the client. Maturity factoring means the factoring business operates after the maturity of account receivables. Next, participation factoring. Participation factoring means the factor almost does a trade transaction, or he helps the companies in many ways. Disclosed and undisclosed factoring. In disclosed factoring, the name of the factor is based upon the disclosure or non-disclosure of the name of the factoring in the invoice. In the sense, sometimes the factor discloses the name in his invoice, and sometimes the factor purchases the trade debts in which his name is not being enclosed. Domestic factoring means the factoring which takes place within the country, that is, both the parties belong to the same country. And international factoring means the factoring takes place in multiple countries. Next, what do you mean by full factoring? Full factoring means the account receivables can be completely converted into cash. This is one function. Apart from this, ledger maintenance he does, accounting aspects he does, he helps in auditing, he helps in financing the trade debts. In this way, he goes on providing almost all the services, all the financial services available under him. Next one is there are many other types of factoring, like reports factoring. Reports factoring means the factor does not take the risk. Reports factoring means the factor does not take the risk. He converts the account receivable into, if the account receivable is converted into cash, then only he pays the money and gets the commission. If the account receivable is not converted into cash, he does not pay even a rupee to the client. Non-recourse means the factor takes the risk. In the sense, if the account receivable is not converted into cash, also the factor is responsible. It's maturity factoring in the sense sometimes the factoring business takes place after the maturity period of a financial asset. In cross-bordering or international factoring means the factor may belong to one country and the buyer and seller may belong to any other foreign countries also. The buyer may be placed in the factor's country or the seller may be placed in the factor's country. Next one is recourse factoring. In recourse factoring, what happens is 75 to 80%, 85% of account receivables are factored by this. Means the factor does not take the credit risk. If he collects the amount, he repays it. If he does not collect the amount, he just hands over the account receivable to the client. Next, the interest is charged before the collection of account receivables. Next one is there is no loss incurred for the factor in case of account receivable, in case of non-collection of account receivables. Next one is credit risk is not taken by the factor, it rests with the client itself. Next, the factor does not participate in the credit sanction process. In a sense, he does not intermediate the credit transaction. Next one is in India, the factoring is done with the recourse. With the recourse, in the sense, the entire risk is borne by the factor. He purchases the account receivable from the bank and he tries to convert them into the cash. Next one is non-recourse factoring. Non-recourse factoring in the sense, if the non-recourse means the risk is completely borne by the factor himself. The credit risk is completely borne by the factor himself. What do you mean by credit risk here? If the factor will lose the amount if he does not convert the account receivable into cash. For this, he charges huge amount of commission. And this type of thing is completely done in case of international factoring. And the factor participates in the credit sanction process. Means if the client wants for the credit, it brings the factor. Factor acts as a surety for the client to proceed to the credit transaction. This one is maturity factor. Here, the factoring business takes place at the end of the maturity period of the account receivables. Cross-border factoring. Cross-border factoring is also called as export-oriented or import-oriented or dual-oriented factoring. In this case, the factor may belong to the exporter country or the factor may belong to the importer country also. What are the benefits of factoring? Here, main benefit of the factoring goes to the exporter himself. This factor provides various financial services. He tries to convert 80% of the credit transactions into cash. He provides financial assistance in some cases. Next, he also assures that certain amount of account receivables can be converted into cash. That is, he assures that cash convertibility or cash flow position of the company. Next, collection work. The collection work is done by the factoring organization. He leaves the client and concentrates on the production alone. It's credit risk. In case of recourse, the factoring does not take any credit risk. But in case of non-recourse, the factor takes the credit risk. Factor provides consultancy services. Sometimes he arranges a buyer who has a good track record. Next, he also goes for economy in service, means he does not take a huge amount of commission. Usually that takes place in case of recourse factor. Problems of factoring. There are various problems of factoring. The first and the foremost problem is the credit information, the credit viability of the person, the credit viability of the investor must be clearly known to the factor. Next one is there is also a stamp duty regarding the trade debts at the international level. There are also some legal issues going on. Sometimes cases may be lodged on the factor. Next, funding limitations, in the sense sometimes huge amount of loss may be incurred to the factor. Unlimited coverage, in the sense usually domestic coverage is seen in case of factor. Factoring in India. In India, factoring services are in the nascent stage. Nascent stage means at the introductory stage, the factoring businesses are there. Or we can say that factoring businesses are renamed as recovery procedures in India. They have to be done according to the Banking Regulation Act, but in India, number of factoring services are very, very limited. 80% of the account receivables can be converted to cash in case of factoring. Many banks are reluctant to provide the factoring services in India, especially they are not in a position to render the letter of declaration, that is letter of credit to that factor. Next one is this factoring business became a huge problem for the recovery. Next one is the cost of transaction will be high if it is without recourse factor. This is a small introduction regarding the regarding what do you mean by factoring, what are the types of factoring, what are the benefits of factoring, and what is factoring in India. Thank you.